Hello everyone. As you can just see by just looking at the Facebook chart, for the first time Facebook is breaking out and following through on its breakout with the heavier volume confirmation. I know it's a weird way to start the video, but I tell you what, Facebook is kind of it just pops up every time. I don't know why, it's the charts with the Warden notes or something, but Facebook is always the first stock to pop up whenever I update my telecharts. And to see it follow through on such strong volume to new highs and looking at a weekly chart, this to me is kind of like a proxy for the overall market and tells me that the market right now is good, strong, and there is nothing to be worried about. Looking at the NASDAQ, you can see it was higher today. Good intraday reversal. Volumes below average. It's summertime. All the oscillators trying to move up off their lows. So we're all good there. No need to psychoanalyze that. Russell 2000, same similar situation. Oscillators are moving higher. Stochastics racing to super overbought level. We'll see what that means in the upcoming future sessions. I don't want to speculate too much on it. S&P 500 slightly up today. You can see the oscillators are also turning up off their lows. And more importantly, looking at the Dow Jones Transportation Average moving up off its lows. It remains under a sell signal, but all the oscillators are pointing up. Dow Jones Industrial Average also remains under an overall neutral signal, but all of its oscillators have pointed up off the lows. So overall, we look good. Good day. But at that being said, it isn't perfect out there, and we do have a few sell signals, nothing major. But we really, the past two sessions, I'm lacking quality long signals. Very, very, very lacking. They're all half, like, they're not that great. So first, let's go over the sells. CMGE, once I went long it, my thesis was if it goes nowhere for the first week, I'm getting out of half of it. After 5 days, it went nowhere, got out of half of it. And after these next 5 days, it actually traded below $21 today. It did yesterday, but my sell stops didn't trigger. Today, it traded below 21 again, trading down at 20.92, and that took me out of CMGE. But even if I wouldn't have been taken out intraday, by the end of the day, it's a sell signal. 10 days going nowhere. CMGE is done, so it's a full sell. Also, Core hit my final sell stop intraday because it moved below 45.80, so at 45.79 I was taken out. Closed at 45.90. Closing below the 20-day moving average, so pretty convincingly. So technically, it's a 50% sell. You can hang on and wait for a close below the low of the day here. Or if you want, you can put a final sell stop below 45.70, and if it hits 45.69, be completely out of Core. But Core is basically failing already, that move here, and if you're just using the end of the day, or the low of the day, excuse me, of the signal date, then you can get all out of Core, but it's up to you. And then proving that once again, this market doesn't want to reward the stocks that used to be rewarded for me. So before 2008, if I saw a chart like this and got a signal like this, even though it isn't super long, it's almost guaranteed to work. Very few times I would get to receive a chart like this with a signal like this and watch it fail. It was very, very, very rare. Very, 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 very rare. Now, every time I get a beautiful chart like this, they just never work. And OCLR becomes the same similar situation. Boom. Close at 260. That close is below 266, which is the low a day, which officially makes this a 50% sell signal, especially since it's also closing below the 20-day moving average. What I'm going to do for me is nothing. I'm staying the same. I could have split my sell stops up, but because I'm already fully invested by the time the signal comes around, I have a much smaller than usual position. So my final sell stop is at 256. But normally it would be 266 first sell stop, 256. So 50% gets taken off if it goes below 266. And then at some point yesterday on the 22nd, I would have been taken out at 265 whenever it went down to 261. And today nothing else would have happened. But overall, I'm going to remain that final 256 sell stop. It still has max stream bop. The pullback was on low volume. If it's a full position, it's a 50% sell, and 50% would have sold as soon as it would have gone below that low day, the signal date. As it is, it's a hold, but on an end-of-day basis, technically, it's a 50% sell. So you can either sell 50% or move all of your remaining sell stops to 258, and if it moves below 257, good. Or you could half it here at 258 and half it at 256, but to me, that's kind of silly for 2 cents with only a 1% account position, so, or 1.5, whatever in the hell this was, I'm not even sure. So the bottom line is that you can do whatever you want here. I'm going to keep it at 256, but OCLR is another hot chart. Just doesn't work. But that being said, HRTG, the only other what I would consider hot chart right now, is actually giving an add signal. Canceling quality stock that was confirmed in the Max Green Bop for 5-day scan and the Green Bop for 20-day scan. So HRTG, you can technically make it a 2% add. I don't know if I would dare go that far, but you know, you technically it is a 2% add signal. If it was a pocket pivot point signal, maybe, but for me, it's going to more than likely end up being 1%. But it depends from the count bound. Core being a full sell and CMG getting out of the half might not even give me enough to put 2% into HRTG. And that becomes problematic because I also have 3 new long signals, and they're kind of high quality, but at the same time a little speculative only because of the lower volume. But bank stocks are hot lately. SGBK is giving a pocket pivot point signal, so technically 2.5% of the account capital. It was not confirmed in any other scan, but the volume, bop, and price surge is so pretty to me that I would feel foolish if I didn't take the signal. So I'd rather know that I'm wrong whenever it moves below 28.98. But SGBK is a new long, 2.5% of the account capital, not confirmed in any other scan. However, if volume would have been averaging at least 50,000, which it averaged about 34,000, it would have easily made the price volume bop surge scan. So technically, I'll count it. And then BHLB is also giving a long signal. These are both banking stocks, and banking stocks are very hot, with many of these stocks moving lately on very, very strong volume, with many of them giving buy signals that just aren't good enough because they're so thin, so I don't take them. But BHLB is a liquid enough stock. By liquid, I mean it averages at least 100,000 shares per day. It's breaking out on stronger volume. It's increased its volume 4 days in a row. And not only that, look at BOP. Each day volume grows, each day BOP grows. That's beautiful, along with price. So we don't risk much of a wrong. So once again, 2.5% long position. It was confirmed in the price volume BOP surge scan, so that's excellent. So you could do 3.5% technically if you want. 3.5% in BHLB, 2.5% SGBK, 2 in HRTG. And then I have a speculative long position, IDI. Been all over this stock since back here. Been following it since here. Was watching it there. There. Probably should have gone long there. Whatever. There even. There even. Right here. Probably should have gone long here. But now I'm getting a real breakout on strong volume. After BOP lost its Max Green Bop, it's zooming back to Max Green Bop. Big price, big volume, big BOP surge to Max Green Bop. Beautiful chart. The only problem is very extended 8%, 8.76% move. I'm obviously getting long this stock with the thesis that it's going to break out and blast off immediately. If it doesn't, the sell stop is the low a day, 970. You can be a little brave if you want and use some of these levels here, like you might want to use like 948. I might even use 948. That way, if it does give a crazy pullback, will be good. But IDI, I love the chart pattern, but it's a little extended, especially as you can see on the arithmetic chart. A little extended. It's a lot extended. And the previous times it's broken out, it really hasn't done much. So it's over $10 now. It's a beautiful chart. Maybe it's going to be a runner. I'll go ahead and do 1% of the account capital, trying to get some beta here. But I really don't expect this to work, so it's extremely risky long position.